U.S. President Donald Trump says he wants to be involved in the picking up a new supreme leader in Iran. According to Trump, he's seen Iran like Venezuela. As he took out Nicolas Maduro, the vice president of Venezuela quickly adjusted and danced to his tone. So Trump is now seeing it like he has the right to pick the new supreme leader. But when Ayatollah was taken away, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Iran is still firing mixer. Iran military is still firing. So Trump says he wants to be the new, before Trump was saying, in the case of Venezuela, he said he's the president of Venezuela. That is, you call him El Presidente. Now, it's not going as planned in Iran. It's not going as planned. In as much as a lot of us did not agree with what Ayatollah was doing, with some of the things Ayatollah was doing, in terms of the heavy-handedness. But the truth there is that that's not the way to remove Ayatollah. It cannot work. I'm not saying America does not have a right, because I supported the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and I cannot criticize America for attacking Iran either. But what I'm just saying is that it will not be work. You have attacked it or your personal interest. Yes, you cannot change a regime by bumping. You cannot change a regime by just air. And that was why America resorted in Libya to arm Libyans. And that's the same thing America will end up doing in Iran. To arm Libyans to fight Gaddafi, to fight Gaddafi's government, every members of Gaddafi's cabinet, and the nation further divided into two. And just know, once the fighting continues, or the armed Iranians, once Iranians are fighting in the section that America has armed, that section will further break into two, because there will be some people who say, hey, you know what, I cannot pay allegiance to this, and you have a total catastrophe. I am not a prophet, but watch and see.
From the White House tonight, our very own Peter Doocy. Peter, they've been an impoverished country. Now they have no access to energy or oil. There's been an embargo. So even Russia abandoned the idea, and Putin abandoned the idea of sending planes to land in Cuba because they can't get the fuel to get back up in the air.
Yeah, and based on what President Trump is saying tonight, it would seem like it's only going to be a matter of time before something big happens with Cuba. But something else that we are seeing, every one-sentence quote that President Trump gives to a different outlet, is the impact that the success of the Maduro raid in January had on his worldview. Of course, this is a president who became popular around the time of the 2016 primaries, criticizing previous Republicans for getting entangled into long-running Middle Eastern wars. But after being able to go into Venezuela, take the leader out, and then have a hand in what happens next, the president seems very encouraged to try to replicate that in places like Iran. That is why he is telling Axios today the following: they are wasting their time. Khamenei's son is a lightweight. I have to be involved in the appointment, like with Delcy Rodriguez in Venezuela. And then with this Cuba situation, he says Cuba's going to fall too. We cut off all oil, all money, or we cut off everything coming in from Venezuela, which was the sole source, and they want to make a deal. And it has been a couple weeks now since the Maduro mission in Venezuela. And right after the troops got back and we found out about it, I asked President Trump if that meant that he would ever consider doing something similar with Russia and Putin. We know that Zelensky has said the success of the Maduro raid, that is obviously something President Trump is still thinking about, is a reason that the United States should go and take out the dictator in Russia. When I asked the president about that, though, in February, he said, I don't think it's going to be necessary. Sean.
You know, Peter, you just have to wonder, I mean, who possibly is going to emerge as a leader? Anybody within the confines or the borders of Iran, they have been awfully quiet. They've had to be, or they would be dead. So we're not really sure where the opposition leadership begins there.
But this is something that the CIA has done really well over the last couple of years. They are talking to people in Iran. They are working, they are cultivating sources, and they are trying to figure out who could possibly rise up that is outside of this military structure, where no matter how many generals they kill, there is still somebody left pushing the button to send drones into other Gulf countries, to send missiles into other Gulf countries. And so there are definitely candidates. We just don't know who they are yet.
Well said. As our intelligence and the Israeli intelligence knew who the right people were, to give us information, locations of key leaders. Obviously, they have been deep in the weeds way more than the rest of the world knew. Peter Doocy at the White House tonight. Peter, always good to see you.